Hari Om. Today is a day for songs, and I have picked up a song by Swami Sadashiva Brahmendra, a great saint, Sanskrit scholar, and a great Advaitin. There's a lot of material on the internet about Swami Sadashiva Brahmendra. He was born in Tamil Nadu, and as a young boy, very stubborn, very argumentative. He was married young, but his wife was still in her maternal home. The day she was to come to her marital home, there was great celebration. In the meantime, Sadashiva, or he was known as Shivarama Krishna at that time, he was very hungry. So he asked his mother, "Please give me some food." So she said, "Please wait." He says, "Please give me some food, I'm very hungry." She says, "Wait, your wife is coming, and now things will change, because you will have a new member in the family, and you will have to build up your patience a little and sober down your stubborn ways." That probably opened his eyes, and he thought, if even before the wife enters the house, if I'm going to be denied food, what is going to be the state of affairs after she comes? So suddenly the problems of samsara, he realized, are going to torment him throughout his life, and he left home that night. He met his guru, who was a Swami of the Kanchika Mukoti Pitam. He learnt a lot there. He wrote books. He became a great Advaitin. But he was still very, very argumentative. And he didn't care what the other person felt. So some people went and complained to his guru. And his guru one day he called Sadashiva and said, "When are you going to stop talking?" He said, "From today." I believe he was just in his early 20s at that time, and he lived to the ripe old age of 100 and above, and he took Jiva Samadhi. So for the next almost 80 years or more, he did not speak. He left the ashram and he wandered as a parivrajaka, as an avadhuta. He had lost all body consciousness by then. Again, people came and complained to his guru, saying, "Look at your student, he roams around the world, as if he doesn't have a care in the world, and his ways of behavior are so different. He behaves like a madman." The guru had already understood what kind of a disciple he had. He said, "I wish I had that madness. What we are all here to study, to become one with the Lord, he has already achieved it." And then there are lots of stories about his lack of body consciousness. What happened after that? You can go through the internet and read the stories. They are lovely stories. But then again, an old acquaintance of his came and told him, "What's the purpose in having silence? Because you are one with the Brahman, and you are the one who should be teaching this to the others, telling us how to live our lives. Why don't you break your silence?" Maybe he did not break his silence, but he definitely wrote quite a lot. And some of his songs, with the highest of Vedanta, have reached us. They are simple, to learn, but they are filled with a lot of depth and the truth of Advaita Vedanta, which he himself lived. So here we take up one of his songs, Sarvam Brahmamayam. This is a song on complete Advaita and nothing else. He said that there is nothing other than Brahma. Whatever you see and whatever you don't see is nothing other than Brahman. Sarvam Brahmamayam Re Sarvam Brahmamayam. And in this Brahma, the Satchitananda Swarupa, where it is all infinity, no segregation of any kind, no duality. In this song, he knocks out all the dualities. What we ought to do, what we shouldn't be doing. We get lot of advice from everybody. Even the Vedas in the Karma Kanda tells us what to do, what not to, what is not to be done, what is to be done. But once you have crossed the Karma Kanda and you have, got the jnana of Brahman and have become identified with Brahman, there are no rules and regulations for a Mukta Purusha. So the next line goes, Kim Vachaniyam, Kim Avachaniyam. Vachaniyam, that which ought to be spoken. Avachaniyam, that which ought not to be spoken. So in the scriptures we have Satyam Vada, Priyam Vada, Dharmam Chara, so many do's and don'ts. But here the Jnani is asking, Kim Vachaniyam, Kim Avachaniyam. What is to be spoken, what is not to be spoken. Everything is Brahmamayam only. Kim Rachaniyam, Kim Arachaniyam. What is to be created and what is not to be created. All creation is his only. And when the creation dissolves also, it is he only. And when I think I have created something, that is only a misnomer, because I really don't create. Nothing can be created. Whatever is created is falls under the realm of Maya, according to Advaita. And Maya is only apparently real. There is no reality in it. So what is to be created, what is not to be created? Everything is Brahman. Kim Rachaniyam, Kim Arachaniyam, Sarvam Brahmamayam. Next line says, Kim Pathaniyam, Kim Apathaniyam. So Vedas are to be studied, 12 years in the Gurukula. They say 12 years of grammar, 12 years of Shastras, 12 years of, almost everything that you have to study, say minimum 12 years. Even a proper dance performance, you need 12 years of education, not 2 or 3 years. That is the fashion now. But here again, Kim Pathaniyam, Kim Apathaniyam. What is to be studied, what is not to be studied. For a man of perfection, he knows everything. He is Chit Swarupa. There is nothing that he needs to study. And there is nothing that is exempted from his study. Nobody can tell him what not to study. Similarly, nobody can tell him what he is supposed to study. He is beyond the study, beyond the knowledge, beyond the knowing mind and intellect. He is the drashta who sees that the intellect is studying or it's not studying. So Kim Pathaniyam, Kim Apathaniyam. No dualities in life. Kim bhajaniyam, kim abhajaniyam. Remember the Lord always. Do not allow your mind to wander in the sense realms. These are the instructions we are given as sadhakas, right? But for a person who has already crossed, when a child is small, we say, okay, this is not the time to play with marbles. This is not the time to do this. This is not the time. But for an elder, for him, even in the middle of his work, if his child wants to do something, he will participate 5 minutes, 10 minutes without getting involved, without feeling he has won the game or he has lost the game. So, Kim bhajaniyam, kim abhajaniyam, what is to be thought of, what is not to be thought of, what is to be prayed to, who is not to be prayed to. What are the thoughts that should enter your mind, what are the thoughts that should never enter your mind. No dualities. Kim bodhavyam, kim abodhavyam. Buddhi, to know, to understand. What is to be known, what is not to be, what is not to be known. There's only one. It's all Brahma. And Brahma is beyond the knowing or not knowing. We keep saying Sat Chit Ananda. So when we talk about the Chit principle, it is beyond the intellect. Beyond the one who has logic and who judges, who takes decisions. So for a person who is beyond that, he is just a witness to whatever is happening. For him, he is nothing to be done. Whatever is being done is happening with the intellect, through the intellect. Whatever bhajaniyam is happening is through the mind. Whatever pathaniyam is happening is through the eyes and to the mind. Right? So he is beyond all this. He says, Sarvam Brahmamayam. Kim bhoktavyam, kim abhoktavyam. What is to be enjoyed, what is not to be enjoyed. The jnani is beyond enjoyment. Not that he doesn't enjoy, but he can live with the enjoyment and without the enjoyment also. In our case, we become slaves to the enjoyment. The jnani, for him, enjoyment or non-enjoyment is there. Okay, fine. But he doesn't get affected with it. So, kim bhoktavyam, kim abhoktavyam. No dualities of any kind. No doubts in the mind. Everything is Brahman. Whatever is happening outside is only a play of Brahman. I am not that. I am watching. I am beyond all this. So there are dualities in the outside world that I can see, but again, that is only apparently real. Who is the real one? I am the real one. I am beyond the reading, I am beyond the speaking, I am beyond the thinking, I am beyond the understanding, I am beyond the enjoying. So there are no dualities for me. As identified with Brahman, I have no dualities. The dualities are all there in the body, mind and intellect. And I am not the body, mind and intellect. This is the truth of Vedanta. Sarvatra sada hamsadhyanam. Hamsa. This is a kind of a signature in every song. Paramahamsa, Hamsa. He refers to his guru with this word. Also, Hamsa by itself has got a great importance in the iconography of the temples. Hamsa is the vehicle of Brahma, vehicle of Saraswati. Also, Hamsa is the one that can discriminate between milk and water and only consume the milk, leave the water behind. Hamsa is a bird which can pick up the ratnas from the ocean So Hamsa is, we have Paramahamsa, yes, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. So Paramahamsa is the state of high evolution. So he says Sarvatra Sada Hamsa Dhyanam. The only thought is Brahmamayam. Nothing else comes into the mind at all. Sarvatra Sada, all the time there is only one thought, Hamsa Dhyanam. And then he says, there is one duty that you all have to do. This is called Kartavyam. He said, don't go after all this, what is to be studied, what is not to be studied, what is to be created, what is to be eaten, what is to be heard, what. Do only one thing, that's enough. Kartavyam, that is your Kartavyam. Bho, with great love, he says, Bho, Mukti Nidhanam. Nidhanam is a kind of a, is what you have to do, what you have to pursue. Mukti. As human beings born on this earth, it says there are three things that are very difficult to achieve, and you get it only with the God's grace. One is Manushyatvam, one is Mumukshutvam, and one is the company of the good. Manushyatam we have got. We are lucky. Manushyatam doesn't come very easily, it comes after a long time. After many janmas, after a lot of punya karma. So if we have got Manushyatvam, we are blessed. Now that we have got it, this is the only opportunity, because next we don't know what janma we are going to get. This is the only opportunity. What? There are 4 purusharthas that a human being can follow. Most of us follow artha and kama. Some of us follow artha and kama along with dharma. But the last purushartha is the trick to take you out of this cycle of birth and death. That is called mumukshutvam. To get mukti, to be free from this cycle of birth and death, free from this cycle of samsara, free from this cycle of suffering and pain. Not running away, but staying here and being free. And Sadashiva Brahmendra was an example of this kind of a behavior. Jivan Mukti. So, Mukti Nidhanam. So, that is what you have to do. He says, you got this human life, pursue Mukti. Do anything that you can do in order that you get the knowledge of your identity with Brahman and experience it and release yourself from this and be Brahman, one in Brahman. Sarvam Brahmamayam. Rere Sarvam Brahmamayam. Hari Om.